This is the most tech savvy any of these have been, so you're the first one with
Yes.
this tech.
With the floof right underneath my collar.
Yep, exactly. So, hi, my name is Annie Willison, and this is Fueling Up with Father, and today I'm with...
Father David Sacha. I'm at the Basilica of St. Adalbert, St. Mary's on the west side.
Yes.
As we drive through the west side.
Exactly. So, what year is this for you as a priest?
This is my third year.
Third year?
Yeah.
How's it been going?
Super well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Oh, ministry is so profound.
What's been your favorite part so far? Like, do you have a specific memory or just
Whoa.
in general what you like?
Right off the bat, I think praying over my grandmother and my mother, I made it an emphasis that my mom was going to get the first blessing.
Okay.
So right after I was ordained, kind of went, you go out to the big square outside the cathedral, and I made the point. A couple people asked, like, nope, we're going to wait till my mom gets out here.
Oh.
And I was able to,
That's really
say
special.
the first blessing. That was really beautiful. And then
I'm sure.
the next one, too, is my grandmother. She was like, okay, me right away.
My turn, yeah.
Yep. So the gas station would be around this block. You take a couple rights.
So take a right here? Okay.
Yep.
Yes, Father David wants to actually fuel up.
I was so excited about this title. I was like, yeah, just do a normal task. Sounds good to me.
Well, a few of them, like, we've gotten coffee. Are you a coffee drinker?
I am definitely a coffee drinker.
Do you want to go get coffee?
Sure.
We're right by Roots, too.
Yeah.
We haven't showed up in Roots.
Okay.
I've been a few times. So we're just doing all the fueling.
Excellent. Yes.
For the car, for our energy, all the things.
With a little bit of spirit. A little bit of soul.
Exactly. Have you had any, like, funny moments in your priesthood?
Oh, so many.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Any particular ones come to mind?
Oh, golly. Well, I did. This was my first homily, so I guess a lot of parishioners would have heard it. But the very first week, so we're on Bridge Street right now. St. James is right down this road. St. Mary's is the opposite direction off First Street, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, it's like 3 blocks away. There's no way I'm going to look up directions. I'm notorious for being terrible with directions. And I think at the time, I also had what's called a light phone. It's like an e-ink screen. It's very simple.
Okay.
And the directions just pull up a list of things. So I was like, I don't need that. I don't need Google Maps. I'll be totally fine.
Yeah.
I take off first Sunday, heading to St. Mary's to say Mass, and I turn the wrong way. And I'm like, no, wait, this isn't quite right. And I look in the rearview mirror, and sure enough, I see St. Mary's steeple in the background, and I was like, I turned the wrong direction when I had like 3 blocks to drive. So then the next, I think it was like the very next day, I'm sitting there eating lunch, and I just kind of, this song starts to play, and I was like, oh, interesting. Maybe we have what do we call Alexa in the kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
Super convenient. I was like, this is a little fancy for me.
Yeah.
But the phones, it was actually the phone, but I thought it was like Alexa playing music. So I'm just sitting there listening to it like, oh, this is interesting. And then suddenly it dawns on me, like, our emergency phone is sitting right there next to the Alexa. And so I like quick try to catch it before it hangs up, and then sure enough, the phone call dropped before I could get to it. So I was like, oh, great. So no emergency calls for Father David. I've gotten a lot better at that since then. But then there was a third. So then the third thing, I think this might have been the first event that happened. But part of the Basilica, you set a security code before you leave so that like arms it. I just didn't quite remember, but I was like, I kind of remember. That's close enough. So I just kind of type in something. And I was like, no, that wasn't it. I type in something else. No. And then I was like, all right, I'll finally look it up. So I look it up, and then I type in the right thing, punch it in. Turns out if you punch in the wrong code, it automatically calls the police.
Oh, no.
And then... Hang on a second.
Now you're getting a phone call.
Yeah, there we
Is
go.
that your emergency phone?
Yeah, no, it's not. So we'll be all right. Calls the police automatically. So the cops show up to the Basilica and are like, we got this like emergency call or something from the Basilica. And I was like, nope,
You're like,
just the new associate.
Oh, no, sorry.
So,
My bad.
Brought the cops to the Basilica,
So
missed an emergency call, and got lost on the way to a church 3 blocks away. So the first week was quite comical.
It happens.
Yeah.
Have I missed our gas station?
Oh yeah, so you could take her right here.
Take it right here? Okay,
Yep.
beautiful. I was
we're gonna find this gas station. Oh yeah.
I would definitely do that same thing though.
Or we'll, yeah.
Where
Okay,
I'd be like, yeah,
you could take her right
it's
here.
fine. Like, yeah, it'll be good. Yeah. Yep. I've accidentally called the cops on like my phone a few times. And I don't know how, like, I think I was pressing the emergency and somehow, yeah, I've done that a
I was
couple
like,
times.
she must need the emergency line. Here we go. Gosh.
Yeah. So I have to call back and be like, sorry, didn't mean to. Please don't send anybody.
Uh-huh.
And I never know if they, like, believe those phone calls, too, you know? Because it's a little odd when you call back and say, never mind,
Yep.
don't need it. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point. I was thinking the
Yeah.
opposite of, like, that we had the bright idea to test out. I think we got a phone through like a book sale or something. And
Okay.
I was like, why? You get like a very cheap phone as the prize.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how
Yeah.
that works, but we ended up like, oh, what's the one number that we all know that could be a good test to call that we know they're going to respond? 911.
Oh
So
my gosh.
we called it and they were like, 911, what's your emergency? And we immediately hung up because we were like, okay, we know the phone works. 3 cops show up at the door. And I was like, okay, all right.
Oh, no.
Dad was like, what'd you guys do?
And you're like, sorry.
Learned our lessons. So yeah, that's where my mind immediately went. It was like,
when you just hang up, yeah.
If they get a call where you hang up,
they show up. Yeah,
right.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
I was just reading today that they're testing like a new tool where when you call 911, they can access all the cameras surrounding your 911 call.
Whoa.
Like they're testing it
like
in one city.
Dark Knight stuff. That's
I know.
Scary. I don't know about that.
I know. Part of me was like, I don't know, but then I guess you can see it. And
Maybe
one
like
person they were
cameras.
interviewing was saying, yeah, I think it's public cameras.
Okay.
Oh, right there. Is that our gas station?
There it is, the Meyer Express.
All right. But yeah, I was like, I don't know. But then they said it'll deter people from wanting to commit crimes, which I guess is true because they can see it and it's not just what people say.
Oh, it's a similar argument in
So
Batman.
I don't know. Similar argument in Batman. I know. I was like, I'm not convinced to this, but alas. All right.
No, justice becomes proactive.
Diesel? No, it's not just diesel.
And gas. Oh, we got the plus there.
All right.
Good to go.
Wow. Okay, this is the first time coming,
fueling up,
and we're at like the end of the season, so wow.
Oh,
there you go.
So it finally happens.
It finally, yeah, this is finally happening. This is actually the perfect day to do it too. So
perfect.
Because I need it. All right, all right. Are you coming out with me? Or are you?
Sure. Either way.
Whatever. The camera can be yours if you want it.
Oh yeah. So Annie, I'll just give like the play-by-play. Annie's going to fuel up right now.
With Father in the car.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Wow. There you go. This is the actual nitty-gritty of it.
The real part, yes. That's happening.
The camera's yours, Father.
All right. Wow, wait. What do you say to a camera?
I can stick my head in as we're like waiting
I saw your face through the window.
Can you?
Yeah. You kind of peeked in.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, what do we say? Captive audience. The Lord is good. Follow Jesus. He's going to take you places.
There we go.
Everybody's listening.
Okay.
Give Jesus everything. I was just preaching the word.
You're preaching the word. Oh, sorry to interrupt.
No, all good.
Okay, so you mentioned Batman, but what's your favorite superhero?
Whoa. I think Father Mike Schmitz had a talk on like which Marvel superhero most resembles the life of grace.
Oh.
And from then on, and I knew Captain America was kind of my favorite from the get-go, but he was definitely.
And that's the one that Father Mike said?
That's the one, yeah.
Really?
Because we have this kind of the natural virtue of kind of building up the strength, doing the right thing, having a good heart, but then the Lord kind of like amplifies that, infuses us with faith, hope, and charity, provides us with the fruits and the kind of the inspiration to just do more than we could on our own. So yeah.
Wow.
I was like, all right, Captain America, living that life of
sold
grace.
You. Yeah, that's so funny. He's definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Actually, he probably is.
Yeah.
Are you a big superhero guy though? Do you like the Marvel movies?
I do like the Marvel movies. I'm not crazy about it. I don't go to like comic books or I don't try to see them right away. Yeah. But I definitely, I was pretty stoked. Yeah. Like moments like when all the superheroes came together during like some of the movies, it's just like, oh yeah, that's sweet. That's
Gets
cool.
you hyped up. Yeah, I know.
Definitely.
My favorite one's probably, what's the newest Spider-Man one where all 3 of the Spider-Mans came back? Did you watch that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that one called?
That one's not Far From Home, is it?
No, I think it was the second one. Goes into space.
I don't know. I also just like Tom Holland in general, so he might be my favorite
Oh, okay.
one. Yeah.
Nice.
I like his character, but
Great actor, yeah.
Of the
He
original
plays
ones,
out the more the kid kind of vibe to it.
he does, and the
Yeah.
other ones did, which I kind of like that take on it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now the gas is done.
There it is. We have officially fueled up, everybody. So anyways, as I was saying, yeah, give your whole life over to Jesus. It's a great time. It's an adventure. It's not going to be everything that you expected. As our administrative assistant once said at the Basilica, it's everything you hope for, not everything you want. That's what it's all about.
I'm excited to look back and see what you've been saying.
Yeah.
Because I have no clue. Yeah, hopefully nothing too bad. No, I'm kidding. Are you a get receipts at the gas station type of person or no?
No. No, I'm
me
not.
Neither.
Yeah. I might have.
I'm terrible at keeping receipts, though. Do you keep receipts?
I do, yes. And I've learned it now, too, with the... I was AntiTech for a while, like I mentioned, having the light phone.
Yeah, is there a reason for that?
There was... So kind of a group of us down in Holland, just kind of starting to see the woes of technology. And I've actually been reading... President and CEO West Catholic Jill Annabelle has a lot of us reading The Anxious Generation.
Okay.
Starting to read it. It's a lot of statistics at the start because he's got to make his case. Like, hey, there's a lot of anxiety going around amongst the younger generation, and it like perfectly lines up with the way that like the spike in anxiety, other mental health issues, perfectly lines up with like coming out of smartphones and a lot of the social media stuff. Yeah. So that's something I think we were just recognizing, kind of being on the cusp. I'm born in '96, so millennials are technically cut off at 95, so I have to tell people I'm not quite a millennial.
You're a Gen Z.
But, yes.
Gen Z priest.
There's also, I've heard that we've got a funky name too, between like 96 and 98. We're like the in-between generation.
Oh, and there's another name?
Yeah, we're willing to work hard, but we also know technology. That's
willing to
that's
work
what
hard,
I tell
but
people.
Also technology. So where is that
my
cut
class
off at?
Too. 98. It's just like a few years of like not
so
quite Gen
I don't
Z,
make it.
not quite 2000s. Yeah, sorry.
I promise I also work hard though. Okay.
The jury's out on that one.
I know someone's like, really, you're driving around with priests right now for your job. I'm like, well, but.
Yeah, here I am being the one driven around as I'm not even working as hard. So yes, anxious generation. I was thinking with that technology stuff, we begin to notice kind of, okay, something's off here. Like it's just kind of the way it just kind of pulls you in. A lot of people are talking how addictive it is. Just taking it even to counseling, like needing to have that space to like finally have someone say like, okay, yeah, you do have a problem with this. You aren't in control.
Wow.
So this, the light phone was just kind of one way of just kind of taking a step back from that. It's anti-human. That was one of the things I noticed, and the arguments made in this book was, as humans were embodied, and this is kind of follows Catholic anthropology too, interestingly enough, who we are, what we are as humans. That is one of the kind of the authorities that the church claims, is that we know humanity so well because Jesus himself was fully human. And one of the things we are, this incarnate reality, this embodied reality, that the kind of screen-to-screen connection is not, just does not cut it for the human heart. We're not satisfied in relationships around that because education and teaching is a relationship. Kids are not kind of receiving as much. I mean, I experienced that in major seminary at Mundelein, trying to learn theology. Like, theology needs to be something that we witness to, that we just kind of share the passion about. And when it's being done computer screen, it's disembodied was one of the words that they used. So, the light phone just kind of helped to, for all of its inconveniences, it definitely forced the embodiment of like, I'm only contacting people if I absolutely need to. And most of the time that means I'm getting together with them face to face. Yeah. So that's what I really loved about it.
So what are your, like, what would be your tips to people who want to try to fix how much screen time they're doing? Like, what are your tips that you give like a high school student who came up to you and was talking to you about it?
Whoa, yeah. Father Danny and I, he's the other chaplain at West Catholic, Father Danny Orris. We laid down the challenge of praying every day.
Okay.
That just like you put away the technology, you close it in a drawer, whatever you got to do. I still run into it sometimes where I hear that email ding before I turn down my phone, and I'm like just starting a holy hour, and I'm like,
the temptation to grab it. Yeah.
Lord, this is my attention's fixed on you. So as hard as it is, like we start as low as needed. Yeah. And they just kind of build up from there. We're getting into the complicated back alleys of the West Side.
Yeah, I'm starting to notice that.
It's like weird S-curve randomly in the middle of a neighborhood. Yeah. All good. We're exploring it, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, we're seeing it all.
Yeah.
I realized we said we were going to go routes, so I'm generally going to head myself back there.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Yes, you kind of know the... oh, those are the domes of the Basilica, yeah. Take a left here, it'd be good to go. So yeah, daily prayer life definitely started off as low as much as needed, as you can. Like kind of build that up. The holy hour being the ideal, as Archbishop Fulton Sheen would say. The hour of power. Every morning. And that time of silence and just really letting the Lord speak to our hearts, like the relationship with him is meant to be a lively one, a voice that we hear every single day, telling us what we need to hear, kind of leading us back into the fullness of the gospel, back into the fullness of our humanity. That like continual saving work of the Spirit. We're not, we're drenched in the Spirit. We're given the Spirit at our confirmation. It's not like moments where the Spirit shows up. It's just like moments where the Spirit outpours because he's with us, because like God himself has committed himself to us so fully. So
there you go.
To like finally silent and leave the Spirit the space to speak those words that we need to hear, to speak with the words of the Father, to breathe the power of adoption, to the voice of the Father to resound within our hearts. We need that time away. And that's part of what kind of tears us away. That's the strange kind of admixture with the phone. It's not merely a matter of discipline. It's a matter of rewiring. And that's more like the addictive side of of psychology, of spirituality. Perhaps reduce culpability in terms of actually choosing to scroll through your phone. But admitting you need help, that's where the culpability happens. Like, okay, I'm not in control and I need to be. I was created to be in control. I was created with a free will. I was created to be intentional about the ways that I love, about the ways that I spend my time. So
yeah, that's very true. Is it right or left?
Left. Yep.
Yeah, that is true. And I feel like especially with technology, like with social media in particular, it gives you the false idea that you have this in-person connection when you don't. It's not the same. But it feels like the same because you're seeing people's faces. Yeah. But it's not that same connection.
Yeah, definitely not.
That's very true.
It's interesting we call Facebook friends.
Right.
When friendship is something so profound. Like the kind of experience of friendship, how profound those relationships are. It's the same thing with like the Facebook is mere kind of affiliation or alliance. Like I will agree to be your friend, like super contractual when in real life it takes a lot more work than that.
Right, it does. A lot more. Yeah. It is very interesting.
Okay,
ready? Right there. Oh, there he is, waving. You can't see his face, which he'll be happy about probably, but
we can zoom in on him.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
But no, we went to Roots. You're a regular, you said.
Oh yeah.
We got your go-to coffee order, which is
the Cafe Meow with oat milk.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Recommend. Yeah. Okay. When did you start drinking coffee?
Oh, that's a funny question because this is actually the original drink I started drinking.
Really? From Roots too?
No.
Oh, okay.
My friend, his name is Christopher Jensen. Shout out. I feel like I keep shouting out a lot of people.
Wait, he's the music director at IHM?
Yes.
Yeah, I go to IHM. Okay,
yep. I went to West Catholic with him.
Okay.
And he was a barista at Big B Coffee for a little bit.
Okay.
And that was one of the drinks that he was like, dude, you got to try this. It's just kind of like natural ingredients. It's going to get you into coffee, I swear. So
okay.
That was the first thing, and I was like,
and it stuck with you, clearly.
I could get into it, and then from then on.
Wait, that was high school though?
That was high school.
Okay.
So then it went even more intense. We went to Rome for a semester. Started drinking straight espresso. And haven't gone back. It's just all espresso all the time.
As soon as you go to Italy and you get used to that espresso, it gets you.
When that's their coffee,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. When did you study abroad?
Oh, that would have been 2017.
Okay.
The year before I graduated from college seminary.
Okay.
So,
there you go. Because did you go straight out of high school?
Yep.
Okay.
Graduated West Catholic 2014 and then
nice.
Hopped right into college seminary.
So you're in the West Catholic Religious Hall of Fame too, then?
Yeah. Yeah, in the hallway. Yes.
I walked around West Catholic with Father Pete McCormick for one of these videos.
Oh, cool.
And so I saw the hallway and I was like, wow.
Oh, that's a good priest. I love that.
There you go. So that's fun. All right, we're getting back in the car now.
Here we go. Yeah, this is also Ferris roasting. And right next to
I
Roots.
was just there the other day
Uh-oh.
with, why? Why is that uh-oh?
There instead of Roots?
Oh. Sorry, I was invited out to coffee, so I didn't choose it.
Oh, okay. Right.
Did you play any sports? Are you a sports guy or not really?
Not really growing up. I was a band geek. I played in played band. That was my big passion. Jazz band, drumline.
Okay.
Played bass drum for 2 years.
I did hear that you're a drummer.
Yes. Nice.
And did I hear too that if you weren't a priest, you'd be in a rock band? Is that a true statement?
Where did you hear that from?
Luke Cunningham.
Oh, jeez. That was setting confidence. Come on.
Well, now you've been outed.
I was laughed at for saying that in public.
Why?
It was because, like...
Were you serious too about it?
I was kind of serious.
Okay.
I was like, Jesus is my everything. And like,
respectable.
Priest is like...
Jesus and drums.
Yeah. And I played in the Pulaski Days Parade last year, actually.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow, are you Polish?
Like, we need a drummer. Yeah. Sacha is Polish.
Oh, okay.
He was originally Sahaski, and they changed it coming into the United States.
That's so funny. Okay, but you do love music. Can you sing too?
Love drumming. Yes, I do like to sing.
Okay.
Learning guitar. That was something.
In the process of learning it?
Yep. Just taking some guitar lessons. That's kind of a side hobby, yeah.
Okay.
Thing to do on my day off.
Do you use music in your ministry ever? Or not so much?
I guess one talk I gave at Sacred Heart, I started off with a song by Rue Paynes.
Okay.
Because I loved it a lot. So a lot of times, and I've used different song lyrics actually in my homilies before too.
Okay.
So I kind of, I got into music.
That's how you bring your personality into your homilies?
Yep.
Music?
Yeah.
That's a common one?
Different stories.
Okay. So I've heard the young adult group at the Basilica is growing, right? The young adult community?
Wow, yes, young adult community. I think that would be the way to
say it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, certainly, I mean, because we don't really have like a control on it. Like it's, nobody in the staff is like in charge of the young adult community. It's just like.
It's just there.
There's a bunch of young adults at the Basilica and they get together, yeah. So it's kind of cool to be a part of that kind of group because they're so intentional about community and about being together that it's just like, it's what, I guess almost like what evangelization kind of looks like. Getting people together and oftentimes just kind of letting your faith influence you so profoundly, letting your faith influence your interactions, letting it influence the way that you do different things that like people just begin to wonder, like, it makes you different. So
I haven't been to St. Mary's before actually, but my grandparents were married there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I still haven't moseyed my way over there yet, but I will.
I could stop by, go down Seward, find our way back.
St.
Mary's, also where my mom's side of the family was. The German back in the day. Veneklaus is her maiden name.
Okay.
So I got the German blood in there too.
Yep, that makes sense.
Good feel breeze.
Yeah, that did feel good. I'm ready. Are you a fall person or no? Like, what's your favorite season?
Probably fall.
Fall, okay.
There's a lot of nostalgia around it with bands, doing drumline, doing marching band stuff. Beginning of school year, again, being kind of a nerd. I should kind of correct that though. In high school, I was also a swimmer. So. Oh, okay. Yeah.
There you go.
Some athleticism in there. But then also, my youngest sister Mary, shout out.
Shout out.
Super big inspiration to me. She, during COVID, she was like, we need to keep exercising. We're not just going to stay indoors all the time.
Okay.
So she got us signed up for a half marathon.
Whoa.
Sent me this whole schedule of training.
Wow.
We like sent me a bunch of different shoes to buy. Just like, okay, all right. Well, we'll get this figured out. So
you ran a half marathon?
I ran a half marathon in 2020.
Would you ever do it again?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Really?
It felt amazing. I was so shocked.
You had like the runner's high?
Yeah. Yeah. At the end, I actually like sped up a little bit because I had enough energy. So yeah, it was so cool.
Okay.
So from then on, I was like, okay, maybe I could be a runner. Because when I would run, I did middle school football too.
Nice.
My dad's rule was two sports in middle school, just to be able to keep the exercise going.
Okay.
And every time we'd run, I'd be the last kid to run in after everybody else. I didn't know how pads were supposed to fit, so they all be like loose and jingling around. I'd just be like, I don't know if I want to do football in the future. Just want to play drugs.
Probably not the safest situation.
Right, yeah, definitely not. Well, I wasn't too often on the field anyway, so it wasn't that much of a danger to me.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, swim. Being able to compete against just myself, that was, and a little bit of running. Playing basketball, we have a basketball corridor at the Basilica.
Okay.
Playing soccer at Wonderline. I learned soccer while I was in Rome too, from Irish guys. So.
From Irish guys, that's a good
The biggest piece of advice, light touches.
That's fine. Well, I did band too in high school. Okay. And 1 year at Notre Dame.
You played at Notre Dame as well?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
For 1 year. Okay. Yeah. And then...
That's kind of intense.
Yeah, it was. It was very good. So I come from a marching band family.
Okay.
My dad was in band at the University of Michigan, and all my siblings who went there did that too. So I went to St. Mary's College, and then I could do Notre Dame band. So I did it for a year, but then COVID happened my freshman year. So then things were weird when we came back sophomore year, and then I studied abroad the next year, and so I just never did it again. But it was a good time.
Okay. COVID your freshman year of college.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, okay. So that must have been pretty hard.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was an interesting experience. That's
interesting
where
in like a Midwest way, or like in a
like Midwest way.
Kind of like in a negative way. I mean, like passive aggressive. Like that's interesting.
Oh,
or kind of like in a way that's like it caused you to reflect a lot. Like kind of brought about.
Yeah, it was good because all of my family was under one roof again, because we were kind of all off at college.
Yeah.
And I'm one of 9.
Wow.
So number 3.
Okay.
So the oldest 3 of us were at college. My sister, it was harder for my sister and brother because they were graduating college and high school that year. So that stings.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually had a good time. But I'm one of 9, and with my parents there was 11 people in the house. So we actually broke the rules of number of people that were supposed to gather with my family alone. Because it said like no more than 10 people.
Wow.
They said no more than 10 people in like a household, but we're like, well, there's 11 of us. Like, this just is what it is. Huh. So, yeah, but so it was good. It was interesting coming back to school though that next year. So,
wow.
But
yeah, 11 in a household.
Because were you a priest at that time, or were you in seminary?
In seminary, so 2 years away from being ordained a priest. That was. So it was actually on internship down in St. Francis de Sales in Holland.
Oh.
Father Charlie Brown, Father Kyle Kilpatrick. And just starting to get into March, February is when we started it. And I was just starting to figure out what ministries I was going to get involved in.
And
just,
and then done.
Very beautiful though. There were a lot of awesome ministerial kind of experiences that still had, we passed out public school food to the local neighborhood.
Should I turn here or up there? Okay.
Up there. Chances to get to know the neighborhood, and that was an outreach that the church was not doing at the time. So it's just kind of a bunch of people asking for prayers because there's a pretty heavy Christian. You could turn even to the parking lot if you want to.
Okay. Right here.
Yep. Pretty heavy Christian population. So sometimes I would wear the collar and people would ask me for prayers. Hey,
I'm sure.
You call me things like pastor, preacher, minister,
right,
that kind
whatever
of thing.
It was. Yeah.
But can we just pray? This is a time of difficulty, and
yeah, for sure.
So yeah, it was beautiful.
Wow. We just arrived at St. Mary's. So now you all can see it too. We'll bring it in. Unless
ancestors, kind of back in the day.
Your ancestors?
Yeah. German community first coming here, and this is actually where the community of St. Adalbert would have worshipped, and they would have taught German, in the school kind of over there. But then they didn't want their kids learning German; they wanted them learning English and Polish. So they had the Aid Society first started for the Polish immigrants, and then immigrants afterwards that came by, and then ended up building a church around their own community. And so, yeah, this is kind of the start of it all.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is cool. I know a lot of people have confused this for the cathedral, right? Yeah. Okay. Isn't I've heard that people think it's, I mean, it's between similar and, in some ways, but
a lot of these are scenes from Mary's life, including like non-scriptural ones. So, Mary being sent into the temple, and being consecrated to the temple. Her birth, I think, right below that, and then the Annunciation above that. Wow. I think there's a betrothal to St. Joseph in one of these as well. Yeah, the one with the menorah.
I always like to ask priests, do you have any like last pieces of wisdom you want to give? Wisdom, fun fact, whatever.
Yeah. I guess I could continue what I was talking about at the gas station when you were filling up. Yeah, the life in Christ is an absolute adventure, and it's worth it to just offer ourselves completely to Him. Just ask for His will each and every day. He just takes you on some fantastic places, like at least what I've experienced. They're just kind of roller coasters that always have lessons behind them, especially to trust Him more profoundly, more deeply. And that's, the way of sainthood is one of peace and joy, and it's been so worth it.
True.
Just the deeper treasures, the pearl of great price. You buy the whole field, but keep digging up all sorts of things. So like when I went into seminary, I was thinking like, I'll stick around Minnesota. That's an all right city, and I'm okay with Chicago with Mundelein, and if I need to sleep on the ground or whatever. And then I got sent off to Rome, and I got to, go to the Holy Land and major seminary. It's not the same adventures for everyone, but still, there's just been taken care of left and right. And the ways of the people, whenever that reading comes up where the Lord says, and it was given up. What was it? Father, mother, sister, brother, wife, children, lands, for my sake will be given 100-fold in this life and in the life to come. I've definitely felt that with just how profound the connections have been to people, just kind of growing the spiritual family. Having so many people say, like, you have a home here, like in Costa Rica when we studied abroad there. A friend I made from Ireland saying, like, you'd always be able to be welcome in Ireland. All across the diocese, how many people's places I've stayed at and had dinner at. And it's just profound how the Lord multiplies and provides the increase. So the Lord is good, and
yes,
he is trustworthy.
Well, beautiful. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. If you want to come hang out with Father David Sacha, come Basilica, come to St. Mary's, come to ping pong at the Basilica. When is ping pong at Basilica?
Ping pong. Usually kind of fourth Wednesdays. Play it by ear. Please pay attention to the Basilica bulletins and website. Probably posted up there.
There you go.
Yeah, it's a great time. So, playing doubles. It's not dependent on skill level. Even an inexperienced guy like me, I've lost to so many people that I've tried to play ping pong with, and I love it. It's a good time.
Right.
But I went this one time to doubles, and I was partnered with a guy who was really good, and we ended up winning the whole thing. And I was like, oh wow! So
there you go.
No matter your skill level, come hang out. Yeah.
Everyone's welcome. So thank you so much, and we'll see you around, and we'll see you guys next time on Fueling Up with Father.